Hello, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Knob Reviews. This is episode number 18, and this one we're reviewing Star Wars Aftermath Life Debt by Chuck Wendig. Yeah, the guy who's also writing the series Hyperion. Now, one thing I can give praise for this book for being is that it's better than the first book. A heck of a lot better. My guess is because of all the criticism Chuck Wendig got from the previous book, because some people thought, the book, people thought, I agree with some people, the book was still kind of good, but it was a bit of a disappointment. This one I thought was a heck of a lot better because it actually featured more than just Wedge and Tilly's. Yeah, this one featured Leia, Han, there's a reference to Luke in here, but Luke does not show up at all in this whole entire book. And this book appears to take place period about a month at most. This book is actually a little bit longer than the previous book. This book is 430 pages long. Yeah, 430 pages long. It basically it explains the whole thing with life debt, and that's the title of it. And basically, one of the biggest things that happens in here is the liberation of Kashyyyk. Chewbacca's home planet. Yes. And there's at one point in the book where the Falcon is actually piloted by Princess Leia and a character from the Princess Leia comic book who took over for Leia as a leader of the Andorian people. Acts as a pilot the ship they stole from the and apparently the New Republic, New Republic are actually been established. They're trying for more peace with the Empire, and the Empire kind of tricks them. Well, pretty much where most of the leadership of the New Republic gets taken out, via the fact that people who were held captive for years were brainwashed that killed these people. Though one of whom, Mon Mothma, she does survive for assassination attempt, which I'm kind of glad Chuck Wendig prevented her death, because she's not that really big important character. She's not one of the big three, but she is somebody who's from the original trilogy. I'm kind of glad the fact he kept her around, despite the fact she was acting like a dick most of the time and not treating Leia with respect. And yet, apparently, I kind of agree with Leia on this. Why didn't anybody care to liberate Kashyyyk at all? Because Chewbacca has helped the Alliance, the Rebel Alliance, out a lot during the Galactic Civil War, and they can at least do him a favor by helping him liberate his home planet from the Empire, but they apparently didn't care. Yeah, this is how Chuck Wendig writes the New Republic government in here. And their home planet is not the capital world is not it's not Coruscant. It's a completely different planet. I think it's Sicilia. I think it is, which is also the which is also the planet that was destroyed in The Force Awakens. I think so. One thing I can give praise to this book for is Han Solo's home planet, Corellia, canon. Yes, that planet is now officially canon with this very novel. And because probably Chuck Wendig probably listened to all the people like, maybe because he didn't focus on his characters from the previous book do show up in here, but at least there's also at least the original series character, at least the big three, at least two of the big three are at least in here. Heck, even Chewbacca makes an appearance, even though Luke himself does not make an appearance. But yeah, he gets referenced, but at least they're here and showing up instead of just being referenced. And they're more like supporting characters to Chuck Wendig's main cast of characters, which include this Grand Admiral from the Empire. Oh yeah, and Jakku is in here as well. It comes to the very end. But yeah, I do highly recommend this, but I do recommend reading the first book first so you can understand who these characters are, the new characters that show up in here. The character Salone, I think her name is, that's the last name. She is made to be very interesting in here. Basically, finding out about because she actually looks up all the superstar destroyers, and she does confirm that most of them were either destroyed or captured during the war, or lost at some point. And she also basically is looking for see if there's any ghost fleets out there, which I thought was a really interesting move. Though at the end of the book, she's kind of on the run. Yeah, the Empire's kind of bit. Yeah, that's one thing quite weird at the end, is that both the New Republic and the Empire are shattered. And at the end of it, Chewbacca is left in command of the Wookiee army to help finish liberating. Despite the fact, yeah, they did liberate the Wookiees, but they got finished freeing the planet from the Empire's influence, which shouldn't take too long with a humongous army like the Wookiees, a species that's well trained for war. Which kind of makes this the first time ever Kashyyyk has been a battleground since the Clone Wars. And yes, there is a droid in here from the Clone Wars. Yeah, Clone Wars is referenced a couple times in this book. I don't want to spoil the ending too much, but I knew that the ending takes place on Jakku, but one of the characters ended up there, and it's a character that was introduced in this very book. I'm like, really? So the Empire, this person tries to become new Emperor by betraying the Grand Emerald. Okay, I don't really understand that. She at least is made interesting. She's not Thrawn. I give her credit for that much. But I'm sure Thrawn is probably someplace else. I don't know. I'm not sure where he is at this point, because in the expanded universe at this point in time, Thrawn still had his own Super Star Destroyer and at least a small fleet at his command. Grand Admiral Salone, she actually had an entire armada of ships. She basically commanded a majority of. She commanded the Imperial Navy, which I do commend her for doing that. Like bringing them all together, having her be the leader of it. And Coruscant's in here a few times in the book, which I do praise Chuck Wendig for doing that. So, I do highly recommend this, but be sure to read the previous book first. And I have heard that the next book is Empire's End. I looked up on Amazon. That's the third book for this particular trilogy. It's Empire's End. So, because this book is so much of an improvement over the previous book, I give this book a 9.25 out of 10. It's much better improvement. And it's exciting. The previous book was just okay. It wasn't that all that exciting, but it was a pretty decent book. Oh, also, gotta love this cover. Here's the full cover of it. Yeah, that's the cover of this book. Next book is just a picture of a. I saw the picture already for the third book of the series, Empire's End. It's a Star Destroyer that's on fire. So at least that whoever does these cover art for these books, they at least made the books eye-catching. Okay. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned whenever I get a chance to do episode number 19. I'm hopefully to do a Star Trek book next, because I got a couple Star Trek books to read. So until then, I will see you there. Bye.